now it continues today, because unfortunately, we share another common bound of having the dubious distinction of being the victim of madmen. And I think that keeps us together once again. So I think we have to continue here, support one another in a very, very important cause, because I think we always have to remember, and there was always a saying during the Holocaust that sort of kept it alive, always remember and never forget. And I hope next year, when we're at this dinner, we'll realize our dream, a free Kosovo now. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Jeff, Senator Klein. Because you're going to see Mr. Milosevic now in The Hague talking about our league. It's not a great film. It's not the quality we want, but the voice is pretty good. So it's going to be played for a minute and a half. He's speaking in Serbian. You have underneath it the Albanian. And basically what he's saying is that the Albanian American Civic League and former Congressman Joe Diaguardi was responsible for him in The Hague. He said this on the first day of his trial in The Hague. Would you play that, please?
U podršci albanskom separatizmu i terorizmu na Kosovu i Metohiji posebno se angažovala albanska emigracija u zemljama Zapadne Evrope i SAD. U Americi je 86. godine još osnovano Albansko-američka civilna liga pod predsjedništvom uticajnog kongresmena Josefa Diogardija, čiji je zadatak bio da aktivno lobira na Capitol Hillu za zahteve i ciljeve kosovskih Albanaca. Aktivnim lobiranjem Liga je otvorila put kosovsko-metohijskim separatistima za zvanične kontakte u Američkom senatu i Kongresu. U svakom slučaju, Albansko-američka civilna liga je u mnogome doprinela sistematskom širenju antisrpskog raspoloženja i satanizaciji srpskog naroda u američkoj javnosti.
Hello, I'm former Congressman Joe Diaguardi, the president of the Albanian American Civic League. You've just heard former Serbian dictator and indicted war criminal Slobodan Milosevic misrepresent our important work in Washington to free Kosovo and all Albanians from the tyranny of his regime. The Civic League has been working for 15 years as an independent lobby in Washington and around the world for all Albanians in the Balkans, but our job is not yet finished. Even though Slobodan Milosevic is in The Hague, his racist, ultranationalist party won in Serbia's recent elections. Even though Kosovar Albanians endured occupation and genocide at Belgrade's hands, many members of the European Union and the US State Department are seeking to either petition Kosovo along ethnic lines or put it back under Serbia. Bowing to international pressure, most of Kosovo's political leaders, unfortunately, have been passive in the face of these challenges. At the urging of the Albanian American Civic League, the leaders of foreign policy in the US House of Representatives, Congressmen Henry Hyde and Tom Lantos, have taken an important step to ensure that Kosovo and the Balkans become free, safe, democratic, and prosperous. They have introduced House Resolution 28, calling on the United States to declare its support for the independence of Kosovo now. Please visit the Civic League's website at aacl.com and add your name to the petition calling on President Bush to support the passage of House Resolution 28. You can make a difference today by joining the international campaign for the independence of Kosovo now. The future of Kosovo is in your hands.
Okay, take it off, because we don't want to have any more Milosevic here. Thank God he's in The Hague where he belongs, right? Okay, with that, let me introduce Shirley. Now, you know, in life, you can work very hard and you can accomplish something. But if you have a good partner, you can accomplish a lot. Isn't that right? Whether it's your wife, whether it's your business partner, whether it's a friend, when you have someone that works hard like you and understands you and is loyal to you, and you have the same cause, and now we share the Albanian national cause together, you can't lose. You have to win. Is that right? Okay. Say hello to Shirley. Shirley. Shirley.
Zolje Izatri, Mia Brahma, Mirisa Ujeta. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. Hvala me nerečem. Tonight is both a solemn and a joyous occasion. It's solemn because we're here tonight to commemorate the lives of 6 million Jews who perished in the Holocaust and the thousands of Albanians who for 125 years have suffered torture, arrest, imprisonment, mass expulsion, and genocide. In saying this, my purpose is not to equate the Jewish experience of the Holocaust and the Albanian reality. But my purpose is to say that the two are linked. The world has not yet finished reckoning with its collaboration in the Nazi genocide or in atoning for it. For years after World War II, the world wanted to forget rather than confront its role in the murder of those whose only crime was their ethnicity and their religion. The traumatic consequences of that denial are persisting to this day in the form of continuing anti-Semitism, but also in Eastern Europe. We all witnessed this in the 1990s when Slobodan Milosevic waged 4 wars of aggression in the Balkans, leading to the death of 300,000 people, the displacement of 4 million, and the rape and torture of many more. Tonight is also a joyous occasion. It's joyous because for the first time in my own memory, we are recognizing publicly the role that Albanians played in saving their Jewish brothers and sisters during the Holocaust. As we recognize the 60th anniversary of the liberation of the death camps, we are also recognizing all those who took extraordinary steps so that others might live. Albania is the only nation that saved every Jew who made it to Albanian lands, to Albania itself, or to Kosovo, Macedonia, and Montenegro. You have at your table tonight a copy of Rescue in Albania by Harvey Sonner. And very soon, you're going to have a powerful experience when you see Norman Gershman's film, Besa. Both the book and this film attest to this reality. And there's another linkage. In 1998, 1999, more than 50 years after the defeat of Nazism, Jewish communities responded to those saving acts across the globe by calling the world to account when so many individuals and governments were silent, as 1 million Albanians in Kosovo were expelled from their homes, and at least 10,000 were murdered at the hands of Milosevic and his henchmen. There is no one I can think of who personifies the linkage between the Albanian and Jewish realities more than Tom Lantos. His mother died in Auschwitz. He is a survivor who worked in the anti-Nazi underground in Hungary. He made his way to America after that, and he became a distinguished academic before he entered Congress in 1981. And shortly after that, he founded, and to this day, co-chairs the Congressional Human Rights Caucus. In this capacity, and as the ranking Democrat on the House International Relations Committee, he's been a vociferous opponent of anti-Semitism. He has come to the aid of Soviet Jewry, and as we all know, or many of us in this room tonight, he's been a consistent advocate for Albanian human rights and freedoms. In 1986, please applaud him. Go right ahead. In 1986, he was the only member of Congress to respond to then Congressman Joe DiAguardi's plea to hold a hearing exposing the atrocities of the Serbian occupation of Kosovo. In 1990, as many of you know, he was the first U.S. official in 50 years to enter communist Albania. And it was there from dictator Ramiz Alia that he was given the files from the communist archives that detailed the roles that Albanians played in rescuing Jews. Throughout the 1990s, as you know, he introduced resolution after resolution. He helped bring down Milosevic. And today, and this is very important, he is one of the few elected officials in the West who has the moral courage to stand up and say that the subjugation of Albanians in the Balkans may not continue. He is one of the few elected officials in the West who has the courage, the moral courage, to stand up and say that Kosovo may be independent. And we must ask, he is not afraid. Why are so many others? Why? And I'll conclude with one saying from the Talmud. The Talmud says that he who saves one life has saved the world. Tom, you have saved so many lives. You have saved so many worlds. And we thank you for that. And we are so glad that you're here with us tonight. Faleminderit Rov Kosovo Ilir.
It is often said, correctly, that 6 million Jews perished in the Second World War, but that figure is dwarfed by another and more ominous figure. 55 million human beings lost their lives prematurely during the Second World War for one reason and one reason only, and the name of that reason is appeasement. It has taken the world an awfully long time to learn that Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Milosevic, the Taliban, and Saddam Hussein cannot be appeased. They must be destroyed. So I am filled with gratitude to the Albanian people for saving Jewish men and women and children who lived in Albanian lands. The reward for good deeds is not in my possession, but the respect, the recognition, the gratitude, the appreciation of all who treasure the courage of Albanians will endure forever. And I just say thank you. We have come a long ways since those grainy footages of our event here 15 years ago. When Joe and I went to Pristina and Tirana in 1990, first American public officials in 50 years to enter Albania, and many years to go to Kosovo, seems like centuries ago, because we have come such a long distance since those horrible, horrible experiences.